Have you ever found yourself lying awake in the middle of the day, staring at the ceiling, doing nothing, and suddenly feeling guilty for it? Not because someone said anything, but because a quiet voice inside you whispered that you are wasting time, that you should be doing more, achieving more, becoming more. And then another thought hits you even harder. What if I'm becoming lazy? What if I'm losing my drive? What if I'm falling behind everyone else? That fear can feel heavy in your chest, because you remember who you used to be, always moving, always planning, always chasing the next thing. Rest felt uncomfortable back then. Stillness felt wrong. But now, after your spiritual awakening, something inside you has shifted, and no one really talks about this part. Imagine someone who has been running for years without stopping. No rest, no pause, no time to breathe. They run because everyone else is running. They run because stopping feels like failure. One day, their body simply collapses, not because they are weak, but because their body can no longer lie. Now imagine people standing around saying, "Get up, don't be lazy." This is exactly what many people do to themselves after awakening. They judge a necessary collapse as a personal flaw. But what if that collapse is a beginning of healing, not the end of strength? After a spiritual awakening, life does not just change on the outside. It changes you from the inside. The noise of the world feels louder than before. The rush, the pressure, the constant need to do something feels heavy and exhausting. Things that once motivated you now drain you. Goals you once chased now feel empty. And instead of excitement, you feel tired. Instead of hunger for success, you feel a deep desire to slow down, to sit, to breathe, to simply exist. That is when the fear begins, because we live in a world that worships business, a world that praises exhaustion and calls it ambition, a world that only respects you when you are producing something. So when your soul asks you to slow down, your mind panics. Here is the truth. Laziness is avoidance. Awakening is awareness. Laziness comes from not wanting to face life. Awakening comes from finally seeing life clearly. When you awaken, your old identity starts to dissolve. The version of you that was driven by fear, comparison, approval, and survival begins to fade. And when that version fades, the energy that fueled it disappears too. That energy was never pure. It came from anxiety, from pressure, from the need to prove your worth. When that pressure loosens, the drive built on it collapses, and suddenly everything becomes quiet. Think about how a machine behaves when it overheats. It slows down. It shuts off, not because it is broken, but because it needs protection. Your body and soul are doing the same thing. For the first time, you are stepping out of survival mode. Survival mode is loud, rushed, and restless. Healing mode is quiet, slow, and gentle. Survival says do more or you will fail. Healing says rest. You are safe now. Before awakening, your life was likely built on expectations you never chose. Study this. Earn that. Impress them. Keep going. Don't stop. Don't fall behind. And when you follow that path, you are praised. But after awakening, that path starts to feel wrong. You can no longer pretend it fulfills you. You can no longer force yourself to care about things that do not feel real. That is not laziness. That is honesty. Your soul is rejecting a life that does not match your truth. This phase feels confusing because you are in between. You are no longer the person you used to be, but you are not yet the person you are becoming. It is like standing in a hallway between two rooms. The old room is familiar but suffocating. The new room is unknown and undefined. In this space, your energy drops. Your motivation fades. Your direction feels unclear. Not because you are lost, but because you are shedding an old skin. Many people panic here. They force themselves to be productive. They shame themselves into action. They tell themselves to get it together. But doing that is like interrupting a deep healing process. You would not dig up a seed every day to see if it is growing. Growth happens in silence, in darkness, in stillness. Real transformation is quiet. You might notice your body feels heavier. You need more sleep. Small tasks feel exhausting. This is not a coincidence. Your body is releasing years of stored stress and tension. Trauma does not leave quickly. It leaves slowly, through rest, through fatigue, through pauses you never allowed yourself before. Your body is finally relaxing after years of holding everything together. And instead of honoring that, you call it laziness. Intuition does not speak loudly. It whispers, and you cannot hear whisper in a noisy room. That is why your soul is pulling you towards silence. That is why doing less feels more natural than doing more. You are not losing motivation. You are losing false motivation, the kind that came from fear instead of truth. This can feel scary because when you slow down, your thoughts get louder. Doubts surface. Your inner critic speaks up. It tells you that you are wasting time, that others are moving ahead, that you will regret this. But that voice is not wisdom. It is conditioning. It is the echo of a world that only valued you when you were useful. And now that world is losing its grip on you. Look at nature. Nothing rushes, yet everything grows. Trees do not hurry. Rivers do not feel guilty. Winter does not apologize for being still. And yet spring always comes. You are not separate from this rhythm. Your stillness is not a mistake. It is a season. You may notice that things you once loved no longer excite you. Old passions feel empty. Old dreams feel shallow. This can feel like something is wrong, but it is not. Your soul is clearing space. An empty space can feel uncomfortable before it feels peaceful. What once fed your ego no longer feeds your spirit. Many people never allow themselves to stay in this phase. They distract themselves. They numb it. They run back to old habits. But those who stay, who listen, who rest, emerge changed. Their next chapter is not built on pressure. It is built on truth. And that makes all the difference. You are not meant to stay like this forever. This is not permanent. It is a reset, a recalibration. Your energy will return, but it will feel different. It will not feel rushed or forced. It will feel calm and clear. You will not chase life anymore. Life will meet you where you are. You may already feel small signs. A pull toward nature, a desire for simplicity, a need for honesty, quiet moments that feel real in a loud world. These are signs, but you will miss them if you keep judging yourself for resting. You do not need to explain this to anyone. Some people only understand movement. Some people only respect action. Let them. This journey is not about being understood. It is about being true. The next time guilt rises because you are doing less, pause, breathe. Ask yourself honestly, am I avoiding life or am I finally listening to it? Deep down, you know the answer. You are not lazy. You are unlearning a lie that said your worth comes from productivity, a lie that said rest must be owned, a lie that said stillness is weakness. Your awakening is breaking that lie apart. One day, you will look back on this time and realize it was not wasted. It was sacred. It was the moment you stopped running from yourself, the moment your soul took the lead, the moment you chose depth over speed. And when your energy rises again, it will feel peaceful, purposeful, and real. This was not laziness. This was awakening.